Another day, another episode here on the Engine Builder Show. On today's episode, Gabe will be talking about how to make your content work hard for you and bring you leads. Definitely something you don't want to miss. Again, thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and hope your week's off to a great start. We are over halfway through the month here in February, and hopefully you're staying focused on your goals and incrementally achieving step-by-step little pieces of it every day, because that's definitely the key in my experience, is making sure that you have a clear target and then figuring out how you can make incremental progress forward towards that. And as Jethro said, we're going to talk today about how to make your content work hard for you and actually bring you leads and results. And this is something that I see a lot of people struggle with, and they don't, because of this, because they don't understand the principles behind effective, content marketing. They end up stopping and starting or struggling and not really getting results from it and just getting frustrated. And that doesn't have to be the case if you just follow some pretty simple guidelines here. And then, as always, which I will preach until the day I die, with consistency, you can get results. So the first thing to pay attention to in your content creation is make sure that you create content that solves a specific problem. Generalized content generally doesn't help anybody solve anything. But if you take a look at, your top performing articles, YouTube videos, things that consistently, get viewed and shared and engaged with, it's because they're typically solving a very specific problem. I know all the time when my son has something going on with his Xbox, or he has something that he wants to change on his iPad and I can't remember how to do it, or I don't know how to do it, I'll just get on YouTube and do, how to fix this or how to solve this specific thing. And then there's a bunch of videos that show how to do that. And so most of us engage with content or get online or get on, either are searching for something in Google or searching YouTube because we have a specific problem to solve. And so the more specific we are in our answer, the more we're going to solve our, the problem for our audience. So whether that's a specific, health issue that you can help with somebody with, or a specific, marketing, solution that you have, or, specific issue that somebody needs to solve legally, or they have something going on with their home that they want to understand how to fix, either how to fix themselves or how to hire the right professional to solve it. Or if you're a consultant or a coach, a specific leadership problem or specific, communication issues that you can solve. When you look at a specific problem, you can go deeper on that, and it will be more valuable to a small set of people that are looking to solve that problem. And so that's going to serve you well. So again, create content that solves a specific problem, and that way you can go deep in it. You can be very clear. The second thing is make sure that inside of that content, you have multiple calls to action. So this is something that I've even, made the mistake of in the past, and something that I actually continue to try to focus on improving, is not just writing something really useful, like how to solve this problem or how to make this change, without, putting multiple times through the content, 3 or 4 times at least, if not more, saying, if you want help with this, you can reach out here. Or if you want to get the guide that's going to solve this problem, then, click here to do this, or comment down below, or what's the action that you want the reader to take to engage with you. So if you don't have a call to action, your content's not going to serve you at all, because people are just going to read it. They're going to have more questions. They're going to want to solve the problem at a deeper level, and they're going to go Google or search somewhere else or ask somebody else. If you have a single call to action at the bottom of the post, you may, or at the end of, what you're talking about, you may not get people to engage that way, because they may not see that, or they may skip through that piece of the content, or they may just miss it. But if multiple times you put in your content, here's the next action that I want you to take, then you're going to just increase the percentage of people doing that, because they're going to see it more frequently. Just like in the beginning of this show, we put on our intro, you can go to businessmarketingengine.com to learn more. That's one of the reasons why we put it at the beginning. I usually say it at the end of what I'm talking, and then it's also in the outro. It's because if you want help with, really effective marketing that's going to scale and grow, I want you to know where to go and how you can get support there. So again, for you, make sure that you have your call to action very clear, specifically, a clear next step that your audience can take, and make sure that it's, included multiple times in the content. And then the third thing, which is equally as important as everything as the other two things I've shared, is make sure that you're, promoting your content on a consistent basis. So if you have a long form video or a longer article, or post that you wrote, you can promote it in its original form. And that means, sharing it in, Messenger to people, posting it on social media. Good morning, Steve. Glad you're up early over there closer to the West Coast there. So glad to see you this morning. So make sure that you are posting, you can share your content in Messenger. If you see somebody has a question that you've already answered, you can go, hey, I have a guide on this, or I have a video that I created. You can share it in your social feeds and say, here's a guide that will help you achieve this, or here's a video that I created that's going to solve this problem. And don't just share it once, because only a fraction of the people that you want to serve and help are going to see it if you share it once. If you share it continually, like what we do for our clients with our Omni Social Engine product, is we'll schedule and post things out on a daily basis, and we'll repeat themes throughout the month, and we'll share things the following month, and we'll just be consistent in putting it out there. So don't be shy in continuing to promote something that's useful and that helps people. You want to promote it on a consistent basis. And like I said, that's in its original form. But you can also take it and, cut it into bite-sized chunks. So you could, as an example, like I could take this video, this podcast episode, and I could break each of the three, recommendations into separate short videos, and I could share them that way. Or I can take a piece of content, that I've written, if it's an ebook or a longer article, and then I can just take chunks of it, and I can email out those chunks to my email list over time. There's a lot of ways that you can break down your content and make it even more digestible and interesting for folks, and you can share it that way. And so what's important is realizing that just because you put together a great piece of content that solves a specific problem and has a bunch of clear calls to action in it, and it's really valuable, until you spend probably even more time, it's not even equal time anymore in my experience, you need to spend even more time promoting the content, putting it out there, being consistent, and putting your messaging out there, because it's going to take people multiple times of seeing your name, seeing that solution, seeing the content that you're putting out there, to not only read it or engage with it or watch it, or engage with that content, because they're going to need to see it a few times before they actually take the time to look at it. And then it's also going to take multiple impressions, multiple times in front of your audience for them to begin to trust you. And so the more times you show up with a consistent message talking about the problems that you solve and how you can help, the more people are going to trust you. And this is where I talk about this all the time, but just as a reminder, it's really important to be consistent over the long term and focus on showing up and delivering value, and, just continuing to serve your audience until they trust you. And I say until, because there's plenty of active clients that I have now who have chosen to spend, 6 figures and above with us after I've spent 2 or 3 years nurturing them on my email list, showing up in social media, answering questions they have if they email me. I always reply to all the emails that I get, showing up and engaging in social media. The longer I've done that, the more that those folks in my audience can trust me and understand that, yes, this is what I consistently show up and do. Yes, you can ask questions, and you can trust me that I'm always going to do my best to give you an honest and effective answer. And when you're ready, Business Marketing Engine is here to help you. The same applies for you. You definitely want to make sure that you show up consistently and you play the long game until people are ready to buy from you. And so that's how you really grow a business, because there's plenty of strategies out there that are going to teach you, here's how you can make 6 figures in the next 30 days. Here's how you can get 10 new customers in a week. Here's how you can do all these fast-paced, things that, give you satisfaction right now. And while some of those do work, you're actually leaving a huge percentage of your audience behind, and you're leaving a ton of money on the table if that's the only thing you focus on. Whereas if you focus on, yes, I do want to acquire people up front, I do want to serve those that are ready now, but just as importantly, I want to be faithful and consistent and show up and continue to serve the folks that aren't ready yet. When you pay attention to that long tail, you create this massive snowball effect, and it's a lot easier to grow a long-term and profitable business when you focus on the whole picture, not just the upfront. So hopefully that's useful to you. Again, just remember, create content that solves problems. So that's really a specific problem that you're solving. Put multiple calls to action that are very clear so that your reader, your audience, the person that's watching the video or consuming your content knows exactly what you want to do next or what you want them to do next. And then third, promote your content on a consistent basis. Keep showing up, keep being consistent. And you can also break your content into smaller chunks, and that's going to help you really just continue to build that trust and also just spoon feed your audience the things that are going to help them be successful in the long run. So appreciate you taking time to tune in. If you need help with content marketing that moves the needle, attracts your ideal customers, and generates you leads now and later, then you can reach out and find us at businessmarketingengine.com. I'd love to talk to you and see how I can help you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.